All right, we need to talk about the next massive shift in AI. And no, this isn't just about another smarter chatbot. This is about AI that doesn't just answer your questions, it actually goes out and gets things done for you. Let's dive in.
So, does this sound familiar? You've got this amazingly powerful AI tool, but you're constantly stuck telling it what to do, one little command at a time. It's kind of like having a Lamborghini in your driveway, but you have to get out and push it to get it started every single time.
Exactly. You thought you were getting an assistant, but you've actually become its full-time micromanager. You're always checking in, giving it the next step, correcting its course. Yeah, it's powerful, no doubt, but it's also completely passive. It just sits there, waiting for you.
And that right there, that's the fundamental limit of the AI that most of us are using today. It's incredible for generating stuff, text, images, code, but it's always waiting on you. It never ever takes the next step on its own. It has no agency.
Okay, here is the absolute best way to think about this. The generative AI we have now, think ChatGPT, it's like a brilliant intern. You give it a very specific task, it does an amazing job, and then it just waits for the next assignment. But the AI we're talking about today, that's more like a project manager. You don't give it a task, you give it a goal. And it figures out all the steps, gets the resources it needs, and drives the whole project to completion. So let's officially meet this new project manager. They're called AI agents. And the one thing you need to know about them is that they don't wait for your next command, they think ahead. They take initiative. The magic word here is autonomy. According to MIT Sloan, these are systems that can perceive their environment, reason about it, and, this is the key, act on their own. Think about what that really means. You can ask today's AI to write an email inviting my clients to dinner in Tokyo. Fine. But you could tell an AI agent, plan my business trip to Tokyo, and it would go out and book the flights, find the hotel, and schedule those client dinners all by itself. See the difference?
So how in the world does this actually work? Well, it's basically a constant three-step loop running in the background. First, it plans. It takes your big, vague goal, like find me some new sales leads, and breaks it down into a concrete checklist. Then it uses tools to start checking things off. Now, this part is the real game changer. It can search the web, access your company's software, use other apps through APIs, you name it. And finally, and this is the truly mind-blowing part, it self-corrects. It looks at the results it's getting, figures out what's working and what's not, and changes the plan on the fly. It's this endless cycle: plan, act, learn, and then do it all over again, but smarter.
And look, this isn't science fiction. We're talking about an agent that could literally do deep market research for you, draft a whole strategic proposal based on what it finds, and then start coding a prototype app to go with it, all while you're asleep. We're not just automating single tasks anymore. We're automating entire complex workflows. And please don't think this is some pie-in-the-sky future. A survey from MIT back in 2023 found that 79%, nearly 8 out of 10 organizations, were already using AI agents or had plans to roll them out. This is happening right now, whether we see it or not. But an AI that can act on its own, that opens up a whole new can of worms. When you give something this much autonomy, you have to start asking some pretty serious questions about the risks.
I mean, really think about it. What happens when it messes up? If a chatbot makes a mistake, okay, you get a weird or wrong answer. Annoying, but that's it. But if an autonomous agent with access to your entire company's systems makes a mistake, the consequences could be, pretty catastrophic.
And this really gets to the heart of what makes people nervous, right? Science fiction has been screaming warnings at us about this for decades. But the thing is, we are way past sci-fi speculation now. So what are the real, practical, what could happen tomorrow risks we need to be thinking about?
Well, they really fall into 4 big buckets. First, there's just plain old reliability. What if an agent mistakenly denies someone a mortgage because it misread some data? Second, there are genuinely dangerous actions. I mean, imagine an agent with the wrong permissions accidentally deleting your entire customer database. Poof, come on. Third is something a little more subtle: automation bias. That's our tendency as humans to just blindly trust the AI, stop paying attention, and lose our own skills. And finally, the really big one: accountability. When one of these things causes real harm, who's to blame? The person who gave it the goal? The company that built the agent? It's a huge legal and ethical gray area.
Okay, I know, that all sounds pretty scary. But the real story here isn't about being replaced. It's actually about being promoted.
This technology isn't designed to get rid of you, it's designed to get you out of the day-to-day grind so you can become the strategist. Just listen to what MIT's Professor Sinanarl says about this. He calls having a strategy for AI agents an absolute imperative. So, sticking your head in the sand is not an option here. The real challenge isn't whether we should use them, it's figuring out how to use them safely and effectively.
And the fundamental principle for managing all this power is actually surprisingly simple. It's an idea called human in the loop. Human in the loop, or HITL for short, is basically your safety net. It means the agent can go do all the heavy lifting, all the research, the planning, the drafting, but before it takes a critical, irreversible action, like, say, spending company money or deleting a database, it has to stop, and it has to ask you for permission. You are the final checkpoint. You always remain in control. And that is the real promise here. This isn't about taking your job. It's about taking all your most tedious, soul-crushing tasks. It's about automating the 80% of your work that's just repetitive noise, so you can finally focus your time and energy on the 20% that requires real human intelligence, strategy, creativity, and big-picture thinking. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. The fear isn't that an AI agent is going to take your job. The real fear should be that a person who has mastered using AI agents will. The question isn't if this is going to change things, it's when. So, are you ready to stop being the micromanager and start being the director?